Hey guys, this is Mr. Grice for Algebra 2, Unit 3.6 Notes, Day 1. Today we're talking about solving systems of linear and absolute value equations. Our learning target today is to be able to solve systems of linear and absolute value equations by graphing. So remember that the solution of a system of equations is the point or points of intersection. Okay, so we're going to be trying to find where our points intersect. All right, so sometimes it's going to be once, sometimes it's going to be twice, sometimes it's going to be infinite, and sometimes it's going to be none at all, and it just depends on what happens with the graph. Okay, so, but the key thing is we have to solve these by graphing. All right, so you need to pay attention because some of these, yeah, they have absolute values. All right, so we should be pretty good at these by now that we know that it's a -2, which means we're going down 2 over 1, and then I need my vertex. I take the opposite of -3, which is +3, and then 4. Now, if you look, there's an equal sign, so that means no shading, none of that. We're just graphing. Okay, so at 3, 4 is where I start, and then I'm going down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1. And since I don't know where they intersect, I want to go down 2 over 1 in both directions as many times as possible. Okay? And then once I'm done with that, I'm going to use my straight edge and I'm going to draw my line. Okay, and we got to go in both directions. Okay, now if you look at our next one, there's no absolute value there. So if there's no absolute values, like 2/5 x minus 5, that's in slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. Our slope is 2 over 5, which means I'm going up 2 to the right 5, and I'm starting at 0, -2. So as I'm starting at 0, -2, boom, hey, look, that's a point right there. And then I go up 2 over 5, boom, there's another one. Okay? And I'm going to go one more point in each direction just to get the full line. I want to make sure it's nice and straight, and then it goes through all of my graph. And there we go. So what are the points of intersection? Well, 1, 2. I have 2 points. And what are those points? Well, my first one is the point 0, -2, and 5, 0. Okay, now they're not always going to be the x and y intercept, which just happened to be the case that time. It could be anywhere. So let's look at number 2. Our top equation is the absolute value, okay? The 1/3 tells us that we're going up 1 over 3, and that our vertex is -1, -3. Okay, so -1, -3. I'm going up 1 over 3, up 1 over 3, up 1 over 3. And I'm going to go as many points as I can because I don't know where they're going to intersect. I'm going to use my straight edge, and I'm going to draw the line. Okay, next one. Once again, Pay attention to it. It's linear. So my slope is down 3, because it's negative, over 2. And then I begin at 0, 1. So at 0, 1 is where I begin. I go 1, 2, 3 over 2. I found my point, 1, 2, 3 over 2. They're not going to meet that way. I'm just double checking I don't intersect in the other direction. And now I've got my line. So it looks like this one only meets up at 1 point. All right, so what's that point? Our solution is the point 2, -2. All right, now if at any point you want to try and do this on your own, just pause the video and see how you do. Okay, just make sure you're paying attention. Where's the absolute value? Where's my linear? Okay, for the top one, there's nothing out front, so that means up 1, over 1, and we're starting at 4, -5. Okay, 4, -5, up 1, over 1. And then we're just going to draw the lines. Make sure your lines extend the entire length of your graph. And then our bottom one, our slope is 1/2 x, which means we're going up 1, to the right 2, and we're starting at 0, -4. Okay, so 0, -4. I go up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2, up. Oh, it looks like they're going to intersect again. And they do. So this one, they actually intersect twice. All right, so I'm going to, I've got my straight edge out. The 2 places our points intersect. We got 1 and 2 right there. So our first point is the point, what? 2, -3. And our second one is 10, 1. Nice. Good job, guys. All right, number 4. We're just going to write this down, and then I'm going to let you guys do the graphing. All right, so that -2/3 means that we're going down 2 over 3. And our vertex is the opposite of -3, and then the -2 stays the same. And then here our slope is up 8 over 3, and then we begin at 0, 2. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video and see if you can graph that on your own. Good luck. Okay, and there you go. There's our point of intersection. Did you remember to do those points in both directions? I sure hope so. So the point where they intersect is -3, -6. Now, if you're having trouble with the graphing, can you use your graphing calculator? Well, of course you can. So I'm going to type in our first equation, which is the absolute value. You put the negative 2/3 in parentheses, math, switch over to number to get the absolute value, and it's x plus 5, and on the outside we have plus 6. Now our second equation is g of x, so y equals 8 divided by 3x plus 2. And then let's go ahead and graph. So I think the only thing that's different is my absolute value is red there. And this one is, oh wait, I put in the wrong equation. What was I looking at? So negative 2/3, it should be, I'm sorry guys. I was looking at a combination of number 7 and number 4. Sorry, so x, let's see, x minus 3. Sorry, let's just delete, second insert subtraction. So x minus 3, and then minus 2. Now let's graph it. This should look a little bit better here. There we go. And there's where they intersect at negative 3, negative 6. Okay, so you can do this. Okay. Now, next one. All right, so there's only a negative in front of it. Remember that negative does mean reflection, that it's going down, and it's going to go down 1, over 1. And then our intercept, or our vertex, is negative 3, negative 2. Okay, so negative 3, negative 2, and then we're just going down 1, over 1, down 1, over 1, down 1, over 1, down 1, over 1. Okay, and I'm getting my straight edge out. And I'm drawing our absolute value function. Now, g of x equals negative 2, what's that about? Well, just remember that this is y. So they're saying that y equals negative 2, and when y equals negative 2, that is a horizontal line. So you can go straight to negative 2 and then just draw your horizontal line. It's awesome. It's not a lot of work. And as I graph this, I can see directly where my absolute value and my linear equation meet up. That is at the point negative 3, negative 2. Okay, so let's do the same thing. The number out front tells us that I'm going to go up 2 over 1, and then my vertex is 3, 1. So at 3, 1 is where I start. Up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1 in both directions. Use your straight edge. And then once again, look at that second one. G of x equals 5. They're saying, hey, y equals 5, horizontal line. So at 5, boom, there's my point. And then I'm going to draw a horizontal line through that point. And then once we've done that, you can see that it intersects twice at 1, 5 and at 5, 5. All right, 2 more. And here come the special cases. No, they're not going to be that hard. Okay, so let's look at our first one. -2/5, that's telling me we're going to go down 2 over 5. When I'm going down, there's a reflection. And my vertex is -5, +6. Okay, so -5, +6, going down 2 over 5, down 2 over 5, down 2 over 5. Yes, in both directions. Okay, straight edge. Use that ID, a ruler, anything. And there we go. So that was our absolute value. Now our next one is linear. So my slope is -2 over 5, which is telling me to go down 2 to the right 5, and my y-intercept is 0, 4. So at 0, 4, boom, I find out where they meet. But when I go down 2 over 5, I found another point. If I go up to left 5, I found another point. And so what happens when I graph that line is exactly on part of the other inequality, or the inequality, part of the absolute value. And when that lines up, that is infinite solutions. Okay? Because forever and ever from this point on, there are infinite numbers that could be your answer. Okay? Oop. All right, sorry about that. My program crashed. So, last one. Number 8. See if you can pause the video and graph those 2 equations first. Okay? Go ahead and pause that video. Good luck. Okay, and that's what I got. Now, where did they intersect? They don't. There's no place at all where those 2 lines intersect with one another. So for this one, our answer would be no solution. Okay. Well, that's it for today's notes. Now, your homework is 3.6 practice. Just make sure to pay attention which one's the absolute value, which one's the linear, and then at the bottom, we've got a review of the inequalities. Okay? All right. Well, that's it for Algebra 2, Unit 3.6 Notes, Day 1. If you have any questions, please come see Ms. Carranza or myself. We would love to help you out. Otherwise, this is Mr. Grice signing off. Thanks for watching.